the Davis Bakery in Youngstown, not related to the Davis Bakery here. It wasn't a bakery and deli, it was just a bakery. But you know, you can see the hands moving, making that food. The bakery. Jack said, we grew up with the greatest Jewish food. It was a pretty strong immigrant community, Jewish community in Youngstown. And she grew up Orthodox, but we did not grow up Orthodox. She was a great Jewish mother. She was very devoted to Gloria, her sister, who never married, as we all know. In Youngstown, she played cards every week. And her hobby was baking. And she baked a lot for everybody. Everybody knew my mom's Montebroi. She lived at Wiggins for the past 12, 13 years. My children look forward to visiting her. She moved to Florida in the late 70s and lived there until we brought her back up here to Wiggins Place in 2008. She was healthy as a horse. Not really on, you know, any meds until, you know, near the end of her life. Approximately January 12th, we moved her into Menorah Park and she passed away. She didn't have COVID, but the lockdown and the isolation, just like with so many of our elderly relatives or older relatives, we don't have to get too big. You know, it's tough. It's tough. And if your relatives are not on the first floor of one of these places, you can't even window visit with them. So I received an email from a granddaughter, Amy, and she said, I'm so very sad to not be there in person to share my love for my grandma. The two most important lessons my booby repeatedly shared and that I wish to remember, and I promise to remember even in her death. 1, health is the most important thing. It does not matter how much money you have. You have nothing if you don't have your health. 2, you have to keep moving no matter what. Keep moving no matter what. Another poem from Amy. Eva, love, in the dark of the night, the fight of your light guides us through the loss that is you. A life of years stretched to 103, perfecting a pose known only as the tree. Violins stringed in crystallized dust, shattered to believe life is a must. A peaceful return to treasured ones lost. Cocooned in love, no matter the cost. Cosmically shrouded in spectacular grief, unfathomed strength, duetted relief. As days pass and our ears long to hear, maybe I take the plane and come over. Our collective hearts exhale, extinguishing the tear. On Thursday, March 4th, on Thursday, dear Eva breathed her last. And now there's no more pain, there's no more deterioration, there's just rest and wholeness and peace. Just as Shabbat is a time of rest, so too for Eva. It's a time of rest and wholeness and peace. Her soul is returning to God and to be with the souls of her dear relatives, friends, and ancestors of her people. We learn this in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. The dust returns to the earth as it was. The spirit returns to God who gave it. And so, the body, which is the vessel for the soul, a spiritual existence. When we go, when we pass, our souls will be together with the souls of our loved ones. This is a place. Olam Haba is a time. It's an eternal time. And you will be together again with the souls of your dear loved ones. The family is allowing us to send a prayer book along with her, because just as it is a mitzvah to escort the body of your loved one to its final resting place, so too the holy books of our tradition. Your memories are filled to overflowing, and we give thanks to God for this gift of life. 103 years. Not just the passing of one day after the other. It's 103 years filled with so much, and so many mitzvot, so many good deeds, so much. And as you think of her, try to put a smile on your face, which is, I don't know if you can see the tie, but it's sad when any of our parents or loved ones die, and at the same time, you go with what the time is on this, 103, and all the Mondobroid. I mean, there's so much to. You have sunflowers, on your. There's so much to smile about, even in the sad. You can laugh and cry at the same time. And this is what we do in life. I mean, what a tremendous, tremendous blessing. You should learn to bake. If you can't bake, you should learn to bake. Do this in her loving memory. The grandkids, great-grandkids, they need to hear of her recipes and share them the best that you can. Be a good friend to others. And do these things in her loving memory. For only through the deeds which we perform can the world be compensated for the loss of this good, decent, loving woman, your dear Eva. We conclude with words from the first chapter of the book of Job. Adonai Natan, Adonai Lakach, Yehi Shem Adonai Mevarach. The Lord hath given, the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Let us say, Amen. Mr. Berkowitz, do they have the ability to lower? Okay. That's fine. So, lower. Okay. A couple more prayers. Then each of us will have the opportunity, if we wish, to place earth upon the casket. That's for the body to its final resting place. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen, yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, 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 yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. May God, who causes peace in the high heavens, cause peace to rain down upon us, upon all Israel, and upon the soul of our dearly departed Eva Schwartz. And let us say, Amen. Everyone except for Sharon. But I'm not being funny. I mean, seriously, don't feel the necessary to try to rise. Please rise before El Maleh Rachamim. O God, into your care we entrust the spirit of our dear Eva Schwartz. For you keep faith with your children in death as in life. Sustain us we may meet with serenity in the mysteries that lie ahead, knowing that when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you, O God, are with us, a loving friend in whom we put our trust. You are the light of our life, our hope in eternity. El Maleh Rachamim, Shochein Bamromim, Hametzeh Menucha Nechona, Tachat Katfei Hashchina, Im Kedoshim U'Tohorim, Kezohar Rakia Masirim, Et Nishmat Chava Bat Yitzchak, Shalach Al Olama, Ba'al HaRachamim, Yastireh HaPeseta K'navav LaOlamim, Vayitzroh B'tzroh HaChaim, Et Nishmata, Adonai Hu Nachalata, V'tanuach b'shalom al mishkava, v'nomar Amen. Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to our dear Chava Bat Yitzchak. God of mercy, let her find refuge in the shadow of your wings, and let her soul be bound up with the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance. May she rest in peace. Let us say, Amen. And now we recite Kaddish for our dear Eva. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ba'almad yivrach hiruteh v'yamelich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaydecho beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ol'amei al-maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei kudusha b'richu. Le'elam minko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. The Kaddish does not mention death at all. It is purely a sanctification of God's name. Here is a translation. Let the glory of God be extolled. Let his great name be hallowed in the world whose creation he willed. May his kingdom soon prevail in our own day, our own lives, and the life of all Israel. And let us say, Amen. Let his great name be blessed forever and ever. Let the name of the Holy One, blessed be he, be glorified, exalted, and honored, though he is beyond all the praises, songs, and adorations that we can utter. And let us say, Amen. For us and for all Israel, may the blessing of peace and the promise of life come true, and let us say, Amen. May he who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us, on all Israel, and the world, and the soul of our dearly departed, Eva Schwartz, and let us say, Amen. And now for those who wish, you may place earth upon the casket as we Adonai, go your way, for God has called you. Lech Adonai yeimach, go your way, and may the Lord be with you. May your righteousness go before you, may the glory of God receive you. We begin with the family. However, anyone who wishes to engage in this mitzvah may. It's not dirt, it's earth. I mean, it's a difference. Schmutz is what you sweep out of your heart. Earth is earth.
We are.
Yep.
We are. We come from the earth. Would everyone here not wearing the mourner's ribbon, please repeat after me these words, speaking them to the mourners. May God console you.
May God console you.
With all who mourn.
With all who mourn.
In Zion and Jerusalem.
In Zion and Jerusalem.
We will say Kaddish for Eva. Every Wednesday afternoon we have Hebrew school because the kids need reps on the Kaddish. We're going to say Kaddish for Eva every Sunday, that we have Sunday school for the next month as well. We're going to say Kaddish for Eva every Friday night when we have services, which is every Friday night. It'll be our privilege to do so, and we'll say Kaddish for her, and I know she'll be on Kaddish lists other places as well. And this concludes our service here at the cemetery.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have, I talked to somewhere under there in Korea.
Yeah, she's got to be someplace here. Right.
What are they? Michael's father is probably under one of these.
The gentlemen are right here, so what's going to happen is this lid is going to go on the vault,
right,
and then they'll take down the setup, so to speak.
Michael? You take care of this for him, okay?
Definitely. Thank you. I'll take it over to your car. This is the candle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Michael? Oh, no, I put the cover over there.
Oh, I'm doing. It was nice to meet you.
Maybe I can ask him to pull the panels now.
Yeah.
So, good to see you. Well, you're starting to grow. Yeah, you'll get there.
We're going to be the older one.